of stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Debbie turns to me and said, "Would you like to say a few more words?" That's a mistake, Debbie, to turn the microphone over to a politician. The only thing that I do want to say is that, really, ladies and gentlemen, young and old, you know, I have 7 grandchildren, and when Mr. Trump said, "So help me God," I knew that those kids are going to have a chance. Yeah. I was concerned before that. They're going to have a chance. We're going to have a chance. We are going to make America great again. Thank you.
Our next speaker needs no introduction if you follow the Trump campaign. He headed up the National Diversity Coalition for President Trump. He's from Georgia, and he used to live in Gwinnett County when he was the Gwinnett Republican Party chairman, but he's in Fulton, I believe, now. And I would like to introduce you to Bruce Lavelle. He was the diversity chairman for Donald Trump. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me. How's everybody feel today? You know, there's one thing that I love about President Trump is he's a very faith-minded individual. He loves the Lord. So before we get going, I'd like to lead in prayer, if that's okay with everyone. All right. Okay, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this beautiful day to assemble. Lord, thank you for Debbie and her group and all the people who came out to travel from many, many miles away around the great state of Georgia, Lord, to stand in one as united, as one blood, one nation under God, Lord. Thank you for President Trump. Keep him safe, his family. Keep all our elected officials safe, Lord. We want no harm or ill will to anyone, Father. And thank you for everything you do. Thank you for these beautiful people in this rally. Thank God for the United States of America that we can just come together and stand. Lord, we pray for our veterans, Lord, to give us this opportunity at Liberty Plaza, Lord, to stand here in one agreement with one blood, one nation under God again, Lord. And thank you for those fallen soldiers. Thank you for those soldiers that gave us this ability to stand here and assemble, Lord. And all these things, with all respects for all faiths around the world, I choose to lead to end this prayer in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. How was that? You know, the good thing about it is that we do have a president that understands that. You know, just to give you an update, my name's Bruce Lavelle. I do head up President Trump's Diversity Coalition. It is the largest diversity coalition in the history of a Republican candidate. Did y'all know that? And you know, all this time they call this man a racist and a xenophobic and all this. I'm like, oh my God, where's this coming from? Are you kidding me? You know, the Democrat Party is what brought this up. But guess what? You know, we all know this is a lie. You know, back when I came down, I introduced President Trump to Georgia, if y'all remember, at Macon Coliseum. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends, Bubba. You remember, Bubba. It was a lonely little town. We had a lot of people that was with Rubio, a lot of people with Bush. And I said, you know, at least my prayer is that even when we get our nominee, we'll all unite. And y'all know that's been very difficult to this day. We got a lot of folks that still haven't really reconciled, but we just got to pray for them because we know that God put this gentleman in this office for a reason, and we're going to stand with President Trump. One thing I like about President Trump in terms of standing up with the faith, he says, you know what, we're not going to let anyone meddle with our 501(c)(3)s in our churches. He said, I'll be damned if I let anyone come in between our ministries and our church and try to persecute them. So that was one thing that I heard. I was sitting there with those 110 pastors up in Trump Towers, and he said that. He said, I will defend all our ministries. I will defend our churches. They will not try to persecute them for speaking up their freedom of religion. And that is a plus and a guarantee from President Trump that came out of his mouth, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing, too, is that the national security, guys, look around. Are you kidding me? Look around. We got a president that's not afraid. We got a president that's just want to come forward and says, hey, you know what? Time out. We need to see what's coming in the country, guys. Is anything wrong with that? No, of course not. But anyway, guys, I'm just totally elated. I'm glad that everyone is on board. Like I said, my prayers is to get everyone else on board. How many real original Trump people from the beginning? Raise your hand. Y'all look around. Y'all know who you are. Y'all know who you are. And that's one thing about it. We're committed. We're united. We're together. All I say is just pray for the president, pray for each other. This is a very tough times that we're in, but I tell you, we're going to prevail, and we are going to prevail, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Debbie. Debbie's doing an awesome job. Thanks for having me. God bless America.
It's not Debbie doing an awesome job. It's a team effort. I'm just out front a lot of times on these issues, and you know, I'm very thrilled about these rallies. 72 across the United States. Imagine that, 72. And they're going to range from sign wavings. They're going to range small rallies on courthouse steps, in Kansas, in rural areas, all across the nation. In Maine, the state of Maine.
How about Hollywood?
Well, probably not, but we do have some in California. There's one of the states, we have like 4 rallies in California. And, you know, in Maine, because of the way, the geographic location of Maine, they're going to be having rallies. I think it's like 30 rallies on March 27th. February 27th and March 4th, a total of about 30 rallies on in each county in Maine, some of 30 counties in Maine, small rallies. We want to give a voice to everyday people to actually come up and speak. Jose Perez is one of the co-organizers of this rally. He's helped tremendously. He was also part of Diversity for Trump, and he's going to come up and say a few words, and he's going to introduce our next speaker. Jose.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you for being here. What an incredible turnout. Frankly, I expected less, and the weather threatening. It's kind of scary. By the way, I want to mention to you, my name is Jose Perez. I'm an American born in Cuba. I want you to remember that. I have been here more than many of you guys have been alive, and I'm delighted to be an American. And my kids, all 3 of them, are very mainstream. And by the way, I called them the other night, and I said, your uncle got elected to the Democratic Party. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. They were very upset about someone there having the same last name. So did I bring him up right or what? Did I bring him up right or what? Good. Now I want you to turn around, because I was thinking of my childhood, and I kind of grew up in Key West after my parents sent me out of Cuba. And look at where it says back there. Could you show that sign that says "Give Trump and Pence a chance"? Yeah. You remember John Lennon? Yeah. Give peace a chance? Is that a good theme or what? Let's give Trump a chance. Now, why, from the get-go, I looked at Trump and what he was speaking about, and being a businessman all my life, I also, oh, good grief, we owe $20 trillion in that. And being a businessman, I'm saying, how do we get out from under that rock? And when he began running and he began speaking about what needed to be done, I said, gotta vote for this man. It's one of the last chances we have to get it straight. And so I was one of his people from the get-go. And when you think about it, what is it that made me go in that way? There were three things in his policy that drove me to being in his favor. There were jobs, right? The second one was what? Jobs. And the third one? Jobs, right? Now think about it. If you cut down taxes, what happens? You cut down personal taxes, you get to keep more of your money. When you spend more of your money buying stuff, what happens? Companies hire people. Jobs. You cut down corporate taxes, what happens? There's more investment. More investment, you grow a plant, you hire more people. Jobs, right? You cut regulation, what happens? Jobs. It is jobs, 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 right? Thank you very much for being here. I'm delighted to be with you. And Julianne, you're next. One of my favorite Juliannes in the world.
Well, did we make America great again? One thing is for sure, that campaigns in the United States will never be the same again. And it's because of people exactly like every single person that is standing here. Because you said no to the false narrative. You said no to the false accusations, and you said no to the false polling. I don't think, as long as I live, I will ever forget 3 a.m. on election eve. Fantastic, and I was so blessed to have my 12-year-old son with me there that night watching the election returns and watching the 45th President of the United States gladly accept the fact that he had been elected. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for you. And let me tell you, I'm gonna, first of all, let me ask a couple of you that are going to speak. How many people do you want up here, Debbie? Debbie, how many people do you want up here?
To hold the flag, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
All right. Can I have 8 volunteers to come up here? 8 people.
Debbie,
Come on
bring
up.
them in close.
Go Trump!
But I wanted to speak to you for a second because Debbie said she would like us to talk about why we're thankful for this election and why we support our president. One of the most special things in my life that will ever be are my children, and I know it's the same way for all of you. In just 6 short years, my little boy is going to have to register for the draft. And I took that to heart. I didn't start off on Team Trump. I started off on a different team earlier in the election. But I can tell you, as the general election came around, there has, and I've been working in politics since college, and there has never been another campaign that has been more welcoming to me, that has opened their arms to me and said, come be a part of us, let's unite together, and let's get this man elected. And I am thankful for that, because that little boy that is going to have to register in the draft for the draft in 6 years needs the kind of commander-in-chief that is going to care about him and think about him before he sends him in harm's way. And also, I'd like everybody to remember, and I know you've heard this talked about before, but most people that run for office, they'll campaign on conservative principles, and then after they get elected, they'll do some things differently. After they get elected, they might nominate a cabinet that's pretty much to the left of them. Well, Donald Trump nominated a cabinet that's actually very much to the right of him. So if that tells you something about the way that he is going to govern, it tells me this one thing. that he is not the kind of politician that campaigns one way and governs another. He keeps his word. And so, just to close with my statements, I'd like to sing God Bless America with all of you. And please keep in mind that I'm getting over strep throat. 2 days ago, I sounded like I had a rock in my throat, so I might not sound the best today, but drown out my voice, if you will. And join me in singing God Bless America as we ask the Lord to bless this land, but more importantly, America bless God.
Yes.
God bless America. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you.
Okay, this rally is about you. We have set speakers, but we're also going to be bringing some of you up from the crowd. And the first gentleman we're bringing up is Jermaine Enoch, and he's going to tell you why he's aboard the Trump train. Give him a round of applause.
Choo-choo! The reason why I'm on a Trump train is not because I'm a black American, Asian American, Latino American, white American. I'm on a Trump train because I believe in the principles of Donald Trump. And not only do I believe in that principle, I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. And we need to get back to the principles of God. We need to get back to our Constitution. Let's read the Amendment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Oh, and just keep on reading it and see what it means to us as our Bill of Rights. We got to return back to God. We got to return back to our families. We got to return back as a people and not be afraid. I am not afraid. No weapon that is formed against us shall prosper. Every tongue that shall rise against us in judgment shall be condemned. They cannot curse Donald Trump. We cannot be cursed because we're believing in God's principles. We're returning back to conservatism. There's nothing wrong with that. Let us come together. Let us drop this colorness. Let us drop this social economicness. Let us drop this political, who we are, and our politics. But let us focus on God bless America. Let us focus on Him. It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about each of us. It's about God. And then the man who is the leader here of the United States of America is Donald Trump. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. God bless Bruce LaVille. God bless Bob Gray. Bless all the politicians who are running. Let us come together. Let's stop playing this pity-patty game and bless the economy again. Jobs, and more jobs.
Boy, is that a tough act to follow. Woo! Our next speaker is coming up. We're bringing him in from the audience, and his name's Michael Altman. And he will say a few words about why he supported Donald Trump.
Jermaine, you never said God bless me over there. Well, this is great. I started supporting Donald Trump early on, and it's just been a great journey. And I think the reason Donald Trump won, because honestly, people were mad as hell, weren't they? We were sick and tired of politics and policies that just didn't work. The regulation and the taxes, it got out of hand. And the medical, Obamacare, where you could keep your doctor and the prices were going down, what happened? The prices doubled. You couldn't keep your doctor. That's why we were mad as hell, and we didn't want to take it anymore. And this is a great country because in front of me it says, "We the people." What does that mean? It means we the people have the right to elect the officials that will promote our policies, what's best for us. I want to address a little bit about the protesters. This "we the people" gives every right for the protesters to stand up and shout as loud as we have shouted in this last election. We have the right to free speech, but we don't have the right for free violence. And I look around here and I see all the police officers behind us protecting us. We must respect our police officers. Everybody turn around and salute them. Thank you for what you do. So I just want to say a few words. I'm so glad we have a president. He doesn't need this job or this office. He took $1 million and turned it into $10 billion. He worked hard for that money. But we need Donald Trump to help us make America wealthy again and great again. Thank you very much.
I would also like to thank, we do, when you see law enforcement, when you leave the rallies, please thank them for keeping us safe. We respect the blue line, the boys in blue, so make sure you let them know we appreciate them. We appreciate Georgia Building Authority for allowing us to use Liberty Plaza. This is the first time I have ever had a rally here. Isn't it a gorgeous place? Thank you. I am going to bring up a speaker that is from Bangladesh. And I won't even attempt to butcher his name, so I will let him let you know why he supports Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm Zahid. I'm from Bangladesh Republican Party. Donald Trump, it's my community like support the Donald J. Trump. Like I'm trying to have people work together. Donald Trump make America make great again. Thank you everyone.
Hello, I'm Mark. I'm a Chinese American. I just want to say, you don't look at the media. It seems that everywhere they are making trouble. It looks like, it sounds like a majority. No, it's wrong. We are majority. Especially the work hard people. Working hard people. We are majority. We should stand up. We should speak out. We are majority. We are the positive working force for this country. Thank you.
And our next speaker is a longtime friend, Trump supporter, Mr. B.J. Van Gundy.
Hey, y'all, I got a question for you. Do y'all remember back in 2009, how many of y'all were with the Tea Party? And y'all remember back in 2009 when the Tea Party was running through the streets, breaking windows, beating people up, punching them in the face. You remember all that, right? Yeah, me either. Me either. Let me ask you this. Do you remember how when the Tea Party left an event like this, they left trash all over? And you know. I seem to remember some events like that pretty recently that left trash all over the National Mall and stuff. So a little public service announcement. I'd ask y'all to pick up all your trash. Make sure you don't leave anything here. And set an example for the other side. I don't think they'll learn a damn thing. But let's do it anyway, okay? Now, I got one other question. How many of y'all are getting paid to be here today? One right there. I don't know by who. Her daddy gave her bus fare or something. I don't know. All right. So here's our challenge. We've got the guy in place to make America great again. Okay. We've got him in place. We got some other people we may need to replace to help with this. But here's the other thing we got to work on, y'all. Y'all got to get involved all the time. Not just today, but tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, okay? I've been doing this stuff 25 years, and that's why Debbie knows me so well. She's been around a long time, too. But we got to make the establishment great again, okay? Now, I know that sounds horrible. Oh, establishment. But what we got to do is we got to work with the president, who is going to work to make the establishment great again. Because all we got to do is this is what needs to be transformed. You remember Obama talking about transforming the country? We need to transform the establishment because it's gone to hell. And we got to fix the establishment. So y'all join in and get involved all the time and make the establishment great again. Okay, I'm all done. Now, let's all run out in the street and over to the interstate and block it.
Wow, huh? Just for your information, this rally is just the first of many rallies we're going to have. Main Street Patriots is going to be here to support President Trump and his Make America Great Again agenda. This is something that's just the kickoff. It's just the first. How many here would like to be on our email list so we can tell you? Okay. For those of you that aren't, take out your smartphones and go to text, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to repeat this, how to join our email list. Ready? Text SOA Rally SOA Rally to 22828. That's 22828 SOA Rally. The Spirit of America Rally. SOA Rally. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you informed of any events that we're going to have. And I can tell you there's one, I'm not supposed to really say anything, but how many here like CNN? Okay, we're going to be planning an event close to CNN, a rally, to let CNN know we love our president. This is why we need you to join our email list. So please text SOA Rally to 22828. The next speaker needs no introduction. Jenny Beth Martin and I stood 8 years ago on the other side of the Capitol in the pouring rain, and our speeches fell apart. And I would like to introduce to you Jenny Beth Martin. And we've come a long way, baby.
We have come a long way. 8 years ago at this time, it was pouring down rain in the low 40s, and we had our first Tea Party rallies around the country. We had 48 Tea Parties that day with 30,000 people in attendance. We were standing up then to President Obama and the liberals in both the House and the Senate. And at the time, it wasn't just about Democrats. So many of you will remember that in October of the year before, as John McCain was running for president, he suspended his campaign to go and vote for TARP. We were tired of the out-of-control spending with the government. We have seen that continue over the last 8 years. And what we've learned is we've been involved in the Tea Party movement, and those of you who have been involved in local activism around the country, is that this goes deep. It goes beyond both parties, beyond any single party, and it goes very deep. And that's why Donald Trump's promise to drain the swamp resonated so much with many of us around this country. In October of last year, I was in 17 states working to get out the vote for our then candidate, Donald Trump. On the Sunday during the World Series, so I think it was like a week and a half before Election Day, I was in California. Now, you may wonder, why were you in California? That is a very blue state. But we had hundreds, thousands of people in California making phone calls. We made over 2 million phone calls into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina, volunteer calls. So I was out there encouraging these volunteers, making sure they had up-to-date lists. And I realized by the time that I left that state on Monday that I was confident Trump would win. And I was telling my team, and they thought I was crazy. And I said, I'm telling you, I see more Donald Trump bumper stickers in Southern California than I do Hillary Clinton bumper stickers. Something's going on. This is similar to what I had seen 4 years before with Obama and the kind of enthusiasm that was there. On election night, many people were very, very surprised, and I can't say it wasn't that there wasn't surprise for me, but I wasn't completely surprised because I just kept thinking back to that day. As I have continued to watch as candidate Trump has turned into President Trump, I couldn't be more pleased with the things that he's doing. We've seen so many broken promises from Washington, D.C., time after time after time. And with this man, with President Trump, I think there are 4 words that sum up what he's done. Promises made, promises kept. It's promises made, promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep helping him do all we can to make sure he keeps those promises. If you're not familiar with the specific promises he's made, and for those watching online today, check out his contract with the American voter. He wants to secure our borders. He wants to address the debt and get our budget and the deficit under control. He wants to reform our tax code. He is going to repeal and replace Obamacare. And we've already seen that he's working to cut the regulations around this country. He is working to drain the swamp. He's putting lobbying bans in effect on the people who are already working in his administration. He's keeping his promises. And as long as he continues to do that, we're going to enjoy the work that we have before us. It's not easy. We have a challenge. We have to keep showing up. We have to keep making our voices heard. But it's going to be a much more joyful fight than the one we have had to fight over the last 8 years. Thank you all for being here today. I look forward to working with you to help Donald Trump keep his promises and to make sure the American public know we finally have a president who made promises and is keeping promises.
Okay, we have a very good distinguished guest. Josh, Senator McCoon, are you here? Here he comes. Let me tell you about this guy, okay? Senator McCoon is the conservative grassroots go-to guy at the Capitol. He is willing to stand for us at his own political peril. He has stood with us. And, you know, we are lucky to have Josh here to actually speak to us. But, I mean, he has decided not to run for re-election. But I just wanted to let you know, we just thought Josh is such an important conservative warrior, and he doesn't mince words. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Senator Josh McCoon.
Thank you, Debbie. It's true. I'm not going to run for another term in the Georgia State Senate. But I can promise you this. I am not done fighting the elitists who are trying to stand in the way of everything you and I want to accomplish with our government. I mean, President Trump won this campaign, in my opinion, with a very simple message. The country is not affected, in my opinion, as much by a right-left divide as it is affected by a divide between a handful of elitists who believe they know what's best for you and the rest of us. You can go right down the line on the issues. Your First Amendment being protected, your Second Amendment being protected, the right to life being protected. And these folks, they think they know what's best for the rest of us. They think that they should be the masters of the universe. I've even heard that phrase quoted from time to time. But you know what? In America, the people still get a say, right? And so that's why it's so important what you're doing today to show your support for President Trump. Because what happened on November the 8th, the earthquake, the revolution that took place on November the 8th, that is a first step. We cannot simply say, well, we did our job, we went and voted, we got President Trump elected, now you go take care of everything. It will not work if we take that approach. We have to be willing to stand up to the elitists, to the globalists who want to, again, just use the resources of this country to benefit a very small minority of people. That's why President Trump pulled out of the TPP, because he wanted to bring jobs back to this country, not to employ people abroad. We are fighting at every level, from the national level on down. And the common thread that runs through it all is, on one side, you've got the American people, the people of Georgia, the people in your neighborhood. And on the other side, you have a handful of leaders of multinational interests whose agenda is different from ours. That's not an American agenda. It's a globalist agenda. And so what we have to do is we have to insist on getting back to the basics, on protecting our basic rights, our right of free exercise, our right to speak out, our right to come out and associate like we're doing today, the right to life, the right to carry whatever gun you want to carry, wherever you want to carry. And these are not controversial issues. The vast majority of people are with us, but they need a little encouragement, don't they? So my word to you is dangerous. Debbie knows my other job is I'm a lawyer. It's dangerous to give a lawyer a captive audience and a microphone. But that's right. Yeah, unless it's Trump. But I'm going to wind up and just tell you this. There are two things that I would encourage you to do. The first thing is, for all the leaders out there, for the people who are putting themselves on the line for you and for people like you all over this state, all over this country, please pray for them. There is an enormous price to be paid for telling the truth. And your prayers are needed, very much so. And the second thing is this. Obviously, you've come out here today, you believe in this message, you believe in this movement, but politics is about addition. So in the next week, in the next couple of weeks, find that person. Think about that person that you know in your circle. Maybe it's somebody at work. Maybe it's somebody in your church. Maybe it's somebody you go bowling with. But somebody who is not politically active. And make it your mission to sit down with them and explain to them what's at stake right now. Because if we all do that, we will be able to grow this movement, and we will be able to accomplish all of the things we need to do to make America great again. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Okay, at least it's not raining. It may be chilly, but it's not raining.
Beautiful day.
Yes. Yes, we would. Okay, our next person is a recovering Democrat.
Hi, my name is Paulette, and I'm a recovered demoholic. Trump had me at the escalator. And I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, a typical Democrat. I thought because I came from working class parents that they were the party for me. I voted Democrat from 1988 and, shame to say, through 2008. However, I have a working brain. As my years went on voting Democrat, we saw Democrats and Republicans come and go. Nothing ever changed. It did not matter who had that office. People like me and many of you were invisible. I've had enough. 9/11 came along, and the first thing I said was, we need to shut down that border and sniff out any enemy and get rid of them. 17 years later, but I will take it now. It is time to put us first, with safety, with jobs, lower taxes. We need to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Because if we can't help ourselves, who can we help? And when we get that $20 trillion paid off, we will be generous again. So God bless everyone. I look forward to seeing you all at the next event. God bless President Trump. God bless America.
The next person I would like to introduce was actually the leader for Donald Trump during the primary in Gwinnett County. His Edward Etheridge is a good friend, and he is a strong patriot for Donald Trump. It is yours.
Thank y'all so much for showing up. We love Trump! We love Trump! Trump deserves respect from the media. He deserves respect from all the politicians. This guy, he is fighting his butt off, and all that everybody can do is just criticize and complain about an awesome job that he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is he's trying to bring the government back to the people. That is something worth fighting for. That's something worth celebrating. He should have the dignity of respect as a president. I demand the media to respect our president. Yes. We need to respect the president. You know, for the past 8 years, I personally did not like Obama, but I did not criticize. I did not get in front of, traffic blocking. I didn't punch someone. I didn't do any of that. I just sat down and just listened, Give Trump a chance. His policies are designed to help the poor, help the middle class, help to bring jobs back to America, and that's exactly what we want. I was hooked on Trump on June 16th in 2015. I was looking at all the candidates, and Trump was number one by far. He is a man that has been fighting for us ever since that day. He keeps fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and God bless Donald Trump.
I wanted to introduce you to a young lady that's not only supporting Donald Trump, but she's organizing a rally. Her name is Lucretia.
I have always wanted to do this, so I'm going to start it now. USA! 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 Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate I'm the president of the Lanier Tea Party, And I appreciate that the Tea Party actually putting this on across the nation. It was well deserved. 3 days ago, our president tweeted out that, you know what, we need to start having our own rallies. Little did he know that people has had his back from day one. Most of us has been watching Donald Trump since the 80s. Everything that was written about him, everything that was perpetrated by the media towards him was a false narrative. And I just couldn't believe so many people fell for that. Not only that, I couldn't believe most people fell for the last 8 years. And it's time to stop falling. It's time for us to rise back up to the top. And it's good to have a person like Donald Trump as our president of the United States. Why are they so shocked that he is doing what he said he's gonna do? Why are they so shocked that he is hammering every line item that he promised us? Not the people under the dome, not the people that's in every major city in the United States. He promised us, the people that was paying attention. So now that we have paid attention and we have woken up to the reality of society, it's not disrespecting our troops. It's not disrespecting our VAs. It's having love for law and order. It's having love for our military. It's having love for the United States. It is having love for our patrol officers that put their lives on the line every day. You might see people say this is a protest or this is a riot. No, because we're not busting anything. We're not the ones that's destroying our own nation from within. We are the ones that want our nation back from the beginning. So on March the 29th, I am holding a Trump United for America rally. I don't care what side you're leaning on. If you want to unify, come to that rally. But if you're for division, stay home because that's what you believe.
I just needed to clarify one thing. These are not Tea Party rallies. We've got Democrats, Republicans, Independents engaged in this. They're not Tea Party rallies. We have a lot of people that are Tea Party activists helping with the rallies, but these are totally separate. We have recovering Democrats actually planning as organizers some of the rallies. So I think the Tea Party's done a great job, and especially, you know, of course I do. I'm one of the founders and still active with the Tea Party, but we wanted something different that would attract people, whether you're Republican, Democrats, Independents, to actually have a voice and advocate for President Trump's policy. Our next speaker, are you enjoying the speakers? Yeah. Our next speaker is a city council member in Loganville. He was a key part of Diversity for Trump. His name is Ray Martinez. Please join me in welcoming him.
Trumpsters, what's up? Come with that. I tell you what, Debbie's doing a good job. Debbie's doing a job. Hey, look here. Who here knows who in the game? Everybody knows who in the game, right? Let's celebrate a little bit. You know what? Let's celebrate a little bit. I'm not going to be as good as Bubba McDowell or Miss Julianne, but let's do. Here we go. There's a party going on right here. It's celebration throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate till we party with you. Hey, we've been celebrating since November 8th, haven't we? Haven't we? Let me tell you one thing. Loganville City Council, Latino. Who says Latino don't vote for Trump? Who says Latino don't vote for Trump? 28% of us voted for Trump, didn't we? We proved them wrong, didn't we? Hey, look here. Let's keep Latinos right here. It's good to see so much diversity up here. You know what? We are one. Our country's one. We're not divided. I don't care what the media says. We're not divided. We're one. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what you are. Just like that gentleman said earlier, we're on the Trump train. Aren't we on the Trump train? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's make it happen. Let's keep it going. I'm going to many rallies. Let's keep it going. We got to keep the momentum going. I got one more thing before I go. Let me hear it from Mr. Neil Gorsuch. Yes, sir. Who's Mr. That's right. Let's hear from Mr. Neil. All right, let's go. No one has mentioned this man's name, but he's I'll tell you what, that is the reason why we're standing here today. Let's hear it for Mr. Vice President Mike Pence. Isn't he doing a good job? Good job. Let's keep our momentum going, folks. I don't care what you are, who you are. Let's keep it going. What a beautiful crowd. And let's keep celebrating. Thank you.
Next speaker is one of the first elected officials besides Bubba McDonald that jumped on board the Trump train very early. He is a very strong conservative advocate in the Senate, Senator Michael Williams. It is my pleasure.
Thank you, Debbie. What a great crowd today. You guys excited? I don't make the fall down. I was down in Waycross Saturday. Josh McCoon was down there with us. We had a great crowd down there as well supporting Donald Trump. I want to thank you guys for all you're doing in support of our president. As Debbie duly mentioned, I was the first elected official to endorse Donald Trump back in September of 2015. And let me tell you, I got a beating for it. People ridiculed me, they teased me, they did all kinds of things. But look at us now. We're standing up, we're standing strong. I want to appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for doing all that. One of the messages I like to send out to people is we need to let our president know that we support him. We need to let our neighbors know, our friends know. We need to let the state, the country, the world know that we have Donald Trump's back because we know Donald Trump has America's back. And we're going to be there to support him. Also, how can we grow our party? How can we grow this movement? I've got about 4 things that we can focus on. One of them is love for our country. Who is a patriot? Who loves our country? I know I do. If you love your country, you love the men and women that risk their lives for their country, they need to be a part of this movement. Also, who loves life? Who loves life? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. If you love life and you love your neighbor, you need to go out there and support us as well. Also, our families. Who supports our families? Our families are under attack right now. We need to make sure we do everything we can to support our families. And lastly, those that want to support themselves, good education, and go back to work. We want to support those that want a job, want education, want to work. So again, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank y'all for supporting our president, and it's a pleasure.
Our next speaker is Ed Painter, very strong ally. He was also an early supporter of President Trump. Ed?
Thank you, Debbie, and thank y'all for being here. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to reinforce a little bit about Donald Trump and who he is. I'm from Dalton, and for those of you who don't know, it's up 75, 30 miles south of Chattanooga. But it's also the home of Marla Maples, Tiffany Trump's daughter, mother. And we have, because of the nature of our business, we've had interactions with her family for over 2 decades. And we understood what type of person Donald Trump was long before he went down the escalator and announced he was going to be running for president. My wife, and it was our whole family that jumped on board that day. My wife is from Korea. She was naturalized in 1976. I have 1 daughter. My son-in-law is from Chile. He's also a naturalized citizen. They are both, I hesitate to say it, but I believe they may be stronger Trump supporters than I am. And they're both very active in the community. So that is the reason I jumped on board early, as to why I'm down here still supporting Trump and why I have a 2020 button on. I'm going to step back. I want to step back to 1992 when Bill Clinton got elected. I'd always been interested in politics. My mother made phone calls for Goldwater in '64. So I was involved in a sense that I kept up with him. But 1992, when Clinton got elected, I joined the Republican Party in my county. And like many of you, we saw a chance, saw what was going wrong, and we wanted to try to stop it. So for 25 years, I've worked on campaigns. I've been parts of the executive boards in the county and the districts, and I've sat and watched candidate after candidate on the Republican side get elected and turn around and start apologizing to the left-wing media for their principles and why we have the policies we have and trying to implement them. And then they turn around and make excuses to us as to why they can't do it. So I'm down here because Donald Trump is the first Republican sent to Washington, as far as I'm concerned, that is fighting, actually fighting to do what he said he would do. And he is the only one that is able to stand up to the left-wing media. That's why I'm down here. That's why I'll be back. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bill Reynolds. I'm a 22-year veteran of the United States Army. I'm proud to see so many veterans here today. I am excited to see so many veterans here today. And I am here supporting Donald Trump for the primary reason that I believe he is going to strengthen our national defense. He's going to bring back our military strength. Our Army is at its lowest end strength since before World War II. Our Air Force is at its lowest strength in its entire history. We cannot allow this to happen in America with the world as dangerous as it is. I believe that President Trump, and he just made an announcement today about a huge increase in the defense budget, yet another promise made and yet another promise kept. I believe he is also going to take care of the problems that we have had in the Veterans Administration, and he's going to take care of our veterans who deserve the very, very best from America. Thank you very much.
How many of you were afraid that if Hillary Clinton had been elected, our country would cease to exist? How many of you have to yell at the TV now to tell Donald Trump what to say? We don't have to do that anymore. We understand that there's another filter. It's not liberal, it's not conservative, it's not Republican, it's not Democrat. It's the globalist versus the nationalist and putting America first. And Donald Trump is doing that, and the media and the globalists are attacking him and tearing him down at every chance they get, and we must not let that happen. It's great to see all of you here this afternoon, but this is not enough. We've got to organize. And it's not just going out and knocking on your neighbor's door, it's forming teams. Meeting at your local library, not to support a political candidate, but to organize, and the local libraries will let you do it. But other part of that is that we've got to elect candidates whom we do not have to push and twist their arms to get them to do what they need to do. We don't have to do that with Donald Trump. All right, we need to change the dynamic. Let's get candidates who believe as we do, solidly believe as we do, and then we don't have to spend our time pushing them, but we've got to get them elected. So identify them, work with them, support them, put out the signs, help arrange meetings, but organize yourselves so that we have 10 times as many. Pull in 5, 10 people, and we need to start right now because the Democrats have already started. And they started in Atlanta this past Saturday. They started before that, and we can do better. We will do better. And after 8 years, we're going to sustain what Donald Trump has started, and it starts with all of us. Thank you very much. My name is Michael Opitz.
Organize and mobilize. Cobb built an awesome team across Georgia. We spread out beyond Cobb, and we think we're really influential even into Pennsylvania. So I'm here to say the theme today has been, let's not give up. We won the battle. We still have to win the war. So we've got a statewide multi-county organization that's forming right now. Debbie's got a nice list from today. We've got a nice list of people that are going to the state convention who are delegates. But beyond that, just every person here, and if you know somebody in another county across Georgia, plug into us. You're going to be hearing more about it. Think about this. Every county of 159, if they were to take one event or task every month, cumulative, we can make America great again by re-electing Trump. So 2020 is what it's all about. Let's start today. Thanks for coming out.
Mr. Gray.
Hello, my name is John. I'm out of Clayton County. I want to let you know I'm a retired person. How many of you are retired? Okay, the reason I came as a retired person is to give voice to those who are working to pay the tab that Washington is taking. So I was glad when Trump said that he was going to cut taxes on business and citizens. Now, how many politicians will tell you what the actual tax rate is for any business? Does anybody know what the tax rate is? Wrong. It's 0. No business, no corporation pays any taxes. The money they give in the form of taxes is paid by the consumers who buy their product or service. So there's no such thing as a tax on them, and all it is being more taxes on us. So I was glad to hear him say he wanted to do that. Secondly, I'm glad that he's putting a person in charge with the Department of Education that comes outside of that department. It's about time this country gets back to being the #1 educator in the world. Perhaps these educators that do the job they're supposed to can teach the children to think for themselves and think out of the box so that they can become the entrepreneurs and make a lot of money, and then they pay a lot of taxes, so the government wins all the way around. So teaching them about the economy and how it works helps our taxes. But we got to do it from the ground up, because the liberal people have been in charge of education for far too long. They want people to learn by repeating instead of learn by thinking. So I'm glad we got Trump in office. Thank you.
Wow. Look at the energy that we've got here today. And while Debbie is absolutely right, this is not a Tea Party rally. I can tell you the last time I felt this kind of energy was in March 2009 on the Capitol steps. Who was there? All right, well, this friend of mine over here, he is absolutely right. This is about jobs, jobs, jobs. And I can say that because I grew up in Buffalo, New York in the Rust Belt, and I saw that Rust Belt created in the 70s and 80s. And since then, I've spent 30 years in business, and I absolutely know that we can make America great again, make America first again, and everything Trump is talking about is about jobs, jobs, jobs. You are absolutely right. I think there's 3 things we've got to keep this country focused on and support Donald around. First is we've got to fuel the economy. And there's a lot of things we got to do to support that, tax reform and so forth, fair tax.
Second thing is we have got to control federal spending. That ticking time bomb of our national debt is going to go off, and we've got to stop that. And the third thing is national security. We've got to be able to control the border. And I having spent 30 years in the technology industry, the thing that really keeps me awake at night is cybersecurity. We are just woefully underprepared for the war that's going to be won or lost in the world of technology. So we've got to really focus on cybersecurity, and I am thrilled to be here. You guys are coming out, and the energy around this group and Donald Trump is fantastic. Thank you.
We're getting ready to wrap this up, but do you see those nice Capitol Police law enforcement standing up there? Give them a big round of applause and let them know that you appreciate them. They help keep us safe. I think we owe a big debt of gratitude to the law enforcement. Every time we've ever had a rally here, we did not have to worry about anything because the ladies and gentlemen with the Capitol Police always did their job and went way above and beyond, so we just appreciate them. We're going to have one or two more speakers, and then we're going to end because, and I apologize if you did not get to speak, but we're about, it looks like the rain's about to start falling. Again, to join our email list, if you want to be notified about the event at CNN, text SOA Rally to 22828. SOA Rally 22828.
I know that a couple of you had trouble with that. Type in the number 22828 for the 2, and then in the comment field, type in SOA Rally. That should take care of the issue that a couple of you had.
Okay, and we actually did have one protester. We handled it very nicely. We had gentlemen with signs in front of it, and we're going to be wrapping this up in just a few moments.
Hey guys, I'm Tammy Jensen. I'm out of Woodstock. I call myself an adorable deplorable. I've done that from day one. I've loved him from day one. He's my man. He has said everything that we've been thinking the entire time. He's got the stones to stand up and say it. And why I support him, not just because everything, they've been saying, I'm a gun carrier. I have been for years. We have the right to defend ourselves, and he thinks we do too. And the government that doesn't think we should defend ourselves, what are they surrounded by? Guns and protection. So even though I love our law enforcement, but we are our first responders. They're the second. So go Trump. God bless America.
All right. My name's Conrad Quagliaroli. Just don't get me mixed up with all those other Quagliarolis you bump into all the time now, okay? I have a confession to make. I did not support Trump during the primary. I think I had a lot of company, but once he became our candidate, I supported him, but I was still lukewarm. Now that he's become our president, I am over the moon. I have become a believer. Like so many people have said, he has the courage to do what needs to be done up there, and I really do believe that Trump is the best thing that has ever happened to the United States.
We love you, Conrad!
He is truly going to drain the swamp, and it needs to be drained, but he needs our help. He needs our help. Those wobbly Republican rhinos up there are not going to help him one bit. They are going to hide under their desk at the first opportunity. So we need to give them a spine. So put your representatives' phone numbers, your senators and your representatives, put them in your cell phone on speed dial. Call them often, because they're too dumb to explain their positions and too cowardly to defend them. So they need our help. And also,
use your sphere of influence. We all have friends and relatives. Well, some relatives don't acknowledge me, but outside of that, call them. Call them. Tell them you're a Trump supporter. Tell them it's okay to be a Trump supporter. During the election, I'm originally from Connecticut. I got 5 people from Connecticut to vote for Trump. It was my sister, and my cousins. How could I do it? They'll take your calls. Call them.
Again, I apologize if you signed up to speak and you can keep it like 30 seconds. Okay. Anyway, we are about to end this, and I want to thank everybody. We have Luke Livingston that is doing the live stream for us, volunteer. Greg Vordell, we're using his sound system. And we want to thank everybody. We want to thank the Capitol Police. So, and that would be good. Does anybody else want to say something for 30 seconds? We're about to wrap it up. Okay. Quickly.
I'm wearing red, white, and blue for American Trump, but I'm wearing my purple coat to remember my brother-in-law who refused to obey the command, retreat and leave your friends dying in Vietnam. He wouldn't retreat, and he ended up getting a Purple Heart and medals for being brave, and that's why I love the military. I hope Trump does what he can for every person in the military, and God bless the Purple Heart people.
Thank you. Let's end with Trump, 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 Trump. Are you willing to fight for his agenda? Make America great again. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless President Trump.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Make sure you pick up the trash around you before you leave, and thank your law enforcement as you leave, if you would, please. Once again, thank you for coming out.